After watching the Channel 2 news story and reviewing the lawsuit that was filed, I feel compelled to respond, despite the objections from my general counsel. Rarely, if ever, does this office comment on a matter that is in litigation. However, in this instance, this issue is much too important for me to remain silent. This report is disturbing, but there is more to the story that you were not told. First of all, I want everyone to know that this office will always put victims first, and seeking justice for crime victims is what this office is all about. This situation compelled key personnel in the Harris County criminal justice system to answer an extraordinarily difficult question. How were we to ensure that a homeless, mentally ill victim of an aggravated sexual assault would return to testify at the trial of her rapist when that victim was going through a life-threatening mental health crisis and had expressed her intention not to testify? If nothing was done to prevent the victim from leaving Harris County in the middle of trial, a serial rapist would have gone free, and her life would have been at risk while homeless on the street. At the prosecutor's request, the victim was initially placed in a private psychiatric facility. Unfortunately, she was not allowed to remain there for more than 10 days and was discharged. The assistant district attorney presented a witness bond, and the trial judge, after careful consideration and personal observation of the victim while on the witness stand, granted the request. When the trial resumed in January, the victim was available to testify, and did so, resulting in the conviction of the serial rapist and 2 life sentences without parole. This office has a long history of supporting victims of crime. To claim otherwise is outrageous. Texas law specifically authorizes either side to ask the court for a writ of attachment to ensure a witness's appearance at trial. We rarely do this, but when a case calls for it to be done, we are willing to make that hard decision. Our trial prosecutor was assisted by an investigator, 2 victim assistance coordinators, and a mental health specialist in working with this victim. I have carefully reviewed the case and fully support our prosecutor's actions. It bears repeating. This was an extraordinarily difficult and unusual situation. There were no apparent alternatives that would ensure both the victim's safety and her appearance at trial.